On behalf of our program, I'd like to wish everyone an early happy Thanksgiving, and my goal is to have more Aztec fans in Fullerton and then the Honda Center on Sunday than all the rest of the teams put together. So we would say get an early Thanksgiving or a late Thanksgiving, one of the two, and come and watch some great basketball with some really good teams. I looked at the field and then looked at some of these other events that are going on now, and I do believe that ours could hold up against all of them, better than most, and hold up against all of them in any field that you would look at. So it'll be challenging, starting with our game on Thursday with College of Charleston. Some of our local fans may not know a great deal about them, but our players do. They're good. They won 24 games last year. 4 starters returned, one of whom has been beaten out. So they will play 2 freshmen, one a redshirt freshman. For our old-time fans, Rick Barry's youngest son is playing for College of Charleston, and he is reminiscent of his father. He shoots foul shots underhand. So you'll get a chance to see that. But we've got great regard for them. This is going to be a really good game against a high-quality team. They beat Charlotte, who beat Michigan, and that should get everybody's attention. So we're excited and ready to go. Winston could probably answer some questions about our team and our approach, but we're very excited about moving forward, and we will have a whole host of games through Thanksgiving into post-Thanksgiving that will all be very, very challenging for us. Any questions? If you could direct them to Winston first, if that would be okay.
Winston, you've heard coaches, talk about who you're facing. Your thoughts?
Well, we have a great deal of respect for all the teams in the tournament, and we know it's going to be a challenge for us. But we've been prepared and we're getting ready to go, and we look forward to it.
It's kind of a heck of a way to work off that Thanksgiving meal, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't think I'll be eating too much that day anyway, so I'll be fine.
Winston, have you ever seen a guy shoot a free throw underhand?
No, I have not. So I'll be waiting to see it just like you guys.
You ever tried it?
No.
Do you know who Rick Barry is?
Yeah, I know who he is, but that was before my time, so I didn't get a chance to see him.
It was not before my time, so I do remember Rick Barry.
And he was good. He was a good free throw shooter. Great, wasn't he?
He was a great free throw shooter, not a good free throw shooter, a great free throw shooter.
Coach, why do you think more guys don't shoot it that way? Because obviously, I think Rick Barry might be the NBA's all-time leading free throw shooter who's up there. Why do you think more people don't shoot it that way? Is it just they're embarrassed?
I don't think that there's a particular reason. I would say no on that count. I think just most people that they follow their natural motion of shooting the ball, and that's how they shoot it. It's a little against the grain if you watch the shot, and you can tell his dad's been his coach with his finger placement on the ball. Looks exactly like his dad. But why more people don't shoot it that way, I don't know.
I think Will Ferrell shot it that way in the semi-pro movie.
You know what? I hope, no disrespect, but I hope Clayton Berry shoots him more like Will Ferrell than his dad.
Steve, what when you guys are playing the exhibition games and an opponent like San Diego Christian, obviously some of what you'll do during that game, you always have the pursuit of victory, but there's also getting a look at some of your other players. Is that transitioning now into, obviously you still have that priority to win the game, but are you also looking at groups of guys together that work well, settling into a starting lineup of 5 guys? Are there secondary purposes of the games at this time of year moving forward?
We're just getting the season started, as everyone knows. We've had 3 regular season games, and we're going to have a flurry of games now. The good and the bad with us is we got a lot of players. And as of yet, there's not been a great deal of separation from a lot of them. So it becomes difficult to some degree for everybody. You can't play 11 players for any length of time, and yet we played 11 players in several games. We played 10 players in the game we lost against Arizona. So we're going to play more. We will play more players than I've played at any time in my tenure at San Diego State. Whether the minutes are evenly distributed will be determined by how groups, not just groups, but individuals play when they come in. I don't know going in whether there will be a first 2 guys will go in. We can substitute. The nice thing about us is we can go to the bench, and Matt Shrigley has been our first sub. So Matt could come in for anybody. He could come in for any player on that team, and we would be okay. So that will be our challenge, both as players and as coaches, to get a group that fits, but also to be able to play maybe in 5-minute bursts and know that somebody's going to come in and not get anxious when you go back in to try to do something too fast. So we'll just have to continue to see how it evolves as time goes on.
Winston, how have you settled into, I don't know if we would call it a 2-guard because you kind of play a lot of different positions, but I guess define your position as you see it right now, and where do you fit in?
Well, I started the 2, so I mean I know that's the shooting guard. But the good thing about coach and the coaching staff is that I might start the 2, but I can play the 1. Coach posts me up, and he pretty much gives me freedom on the offensive end to do whatever I need to do, and as long as I'm being responsible. So I particularly like my position. I get to play out there with X, so I don't have to bring the ball up all the time. And when X gets into a groove, I can bring it up and let him shoot. And I like it.
Winston, what do you like about this tournament as you're going into it? Obviously, the caliber of play is going to be stepped up fairly dramatically. Maybe it's a time that you guys get to make a little statement besides finding out about yourself.
Absolutely. Well, the good thing about me, my whole life I prepared myself for these types of events. I've always played against the best players since I grew up. So a lot of these guys that are in the tournament, I've already played against or with at some point in my high school time. So it won't be a shock to me to see these guys, or it won't, be anything new. And I'm just excited because it's our first tournament. We get to play in a different location. It'll just be something different for us. So I can't wait to see how we perform.
Do you have any sense that, you play this tournament, then you play, I think, USD and then Washington? There's 5 games there that are they're pretty important games in terms of non-conference resume. Are you sort of aware of this block of games, and how important is this?
Absolutely.
Picture of the season.
Absolutely. I mean, especially with the media and guys on Twitter and everything, it's kind of hard to not be aware of it. But at the same time, I try to prepare myself just for the next game on the schedule. So right now, I'm just focused on Charleston, and with the grace of God, we'll move past them, and then I'll worry about the next opponent.
Okay, got it?
Anything else?
Will the team have any kind of a turkey dinner, Steve?
We're not. I'll be real honest with you. There's a banquet associated with the tournament on Wednesday evening, and we've got, because it's local, and we've got a lot of California players, we're going to have a lot of families that will be here. So what we're going to do after we play is we're going to give our players opportunity to go with their families for a little bit, and then we'll reconvene sometime after we watch the next game to find out a little bit more firsthand about our opponent for Friday. So some of the players will go with family, maybe some of the players will go with another family. We will make sure no one is left with nowhere to go. They'll have per diem, but basically Thanksgiving, that particular meal is going to be on their own that night.
This will be the first time you guys have played College of Charleston in school history. Is there like a unique challenge to doing that? I mean, you can watch enough film, but is there, once you guys step on the court, is there anything different about playing a team that you've never played before?
I don't think so. You get players in the program. There are several non-conference opponents, I'm sure, that they've never played before, that group of guys. We've got high regard, Winston said it. We've got great regard and respect for College of Charleston. Doug Wojak, I've known for a long time, since he was the point guard on Navy's team when Michael Robinson played. We played them that year in the tournament. His brother, you may or may not know, was an assistant at Boise and just got the San Jose State job. So he comes from a basketball family. He's an exceptionally good coach, and they will be prepared as we will. This is going to be a really good game. They're a team like we are, saying we can make the NCAA tournament, and this is another game along the line to be a resume filler and builder for a lot of people. So I think everybody in there are 6 teams at least in this event that all have a legitimate opportunity to win a conference and to go to the NCAA tournament. So I believe it will be high caliber, very competitive basketball.